It's like nobody understands me, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yo, if you guys feel the same way, just leave a comment down below and smash that like button.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode and live stream of the Nut Yard here on the Ben Thomas Show. I was up late tonight. I was watching the Wolfpack Wednesday boys over there having a great chat about all these figures that came out today, and I had a crazy day at work. You might be able to see it on my face. I'm a little bit tired, but there was so many things that came out today that I was like, I feel like jumping online and just shooting the shit. If people show up, that's awesome. If not, then I'll talk to myself. But it is great to see you guys here already. Big Rib jumping in the chat. Nice. Hadn't seen your new intro. Thanks, buddy. It's just one of the few that I've got on the go at the moment. But yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about all this Hot Toys news. I think I'll probably start with the Batman today. Because Batman's my guy. I'm surrounded by Batmans, as you guys know. But there's a lot of cool Star Wars stuff that popped up this morning, which was pretty wild from Hot Toys. So I'm excited to see kind of that. I just literally watched, because I was so busy today with work, I just finally watched the Superman trailer, the newest one. And like I've got mixed feelings about it. I don't know. It's one of it's one of those things. I do not have extra squinty eyes. This is me tired. But yes, so Big Rib calling me out. You love to see that. True. You know, it's a tired evening. But for the first time seeing that Superman trailer, I've been excited about David Corenswet, I will say. I think for the most part I like James Gunn. But at the same time, I've also been kind of like I just feel weird. I just hope it's good. So Dilo says you look different, Benjamin. Interesting. Love to see it. Love to see it. Let me go on smaller screen then, so you guys can't see me so well. Let's bring up Batman here. Again, watching the Wolfpack boys. They're having a great show talking about this. And, you know, there was some hot debate as to whether this figure looks good or not. I, again, am a huge Batman fan, a huge proponent of having as many Batmans as you can get behind you, especially if you like the character. For me, this particular version of Batman, while I think Ben Affleck got absolutely robbed not getting his own Batman film, it's also kind of crazy because he's the one figure that like I haven't necessarily wanted to chase down, at least for like the best representation yet. I had the Nightmare Batman behind me that came with the, you know, black suited Superman, and like that was a cool set, but he doesn't come with a head sculpt. You can't tell that it's Ben Affleck necessarily. Although the faceplate on that one I still think is better than like some of the new faceplates that we've seen, if I'm being honest. But yeah, when I first saw this, I was like, okay, pretty good. Not as bad as I was expecting. But then there's definitely a few angles in here where I'm like, maybe not. I think the articulating cowl is a weird choice, honestly, from Hot Toys. Just simply because it wasn't film accurate, so I thought that was strange. The suit's looking pretty good. There's a little bit of the bunching. This sculpt here, like at this angle, I think looks pretty good. I can see Ben Affleck in there. I don't remember his haircut being this weird, if I'm being honest. But I mean, I still think it looks like Ben Affleck. Now I've seen some comparison kind of photos floating around, and I've seen people say like this doesn't look anything like him. Like would they, Hot Toys lose the likeness rights for this guy? I think that's a little extreme. I don't think this is a 10 out of 10 sculpt. Shout out to my boy Brick Artemis. I don't think this is a 10 out of 10, but at the same time, I still think it's pretty cool. You guys say I look rough? Man, I must look more tired than I expected. I should just take myself off screen. You hate to see it. Love to see you guys here, though. We have 11 people in the chat already. Thanks for being here, guys. Yeah, I'm definitely just wrecked. I'm so tired. I should have probably just gone to bed, but I wanted to talk about these figures here as well. Fig Poser, good to see you here, man. Thanks for being here, as always. Let's get this light off of me. God damn. I love to see it. I don't know. I think the hairstyle is weird. Now, it does come with the slicked back look, which I do think actually looks better. I think this looks great, honestly, overall. If I was going to put this at like a figure rating to this, I'd still put it in the high 80s. Easily still in the high 80s. I don't think it's a who the hell is that character in your display. There's no chance. Everybody would know who that was supposed to be. Yeah, so I don't love the cowl look though, and it sucks because for me, if you were gonna choose an Affleck look, in my opinion, I'd say that like it should be this one. Oh, okay. So I did smoke earlier. He was saying that Ben Affleck looks rough. Fair enough. I was like, God damn. Ah, it's like it's like a knife in the chest. You hate to see it. Dilo the Collector says, does anyone find it weird how pale the new Superman is? My guy has powers that come from the sun. You're not wrong. Actually, I never noticed that before. I'm probably not going to be able to unsee that. Because yeah, I just literally watched that trailer. I thought the interview scene was pretty cool. I did like that Lois is grilling him pretty hard in that. I think it's going to be pretty good. Big Rib says, Ben, I think you look more like Ben Affleck than this sculpt. Jesus Christ. That is a take right there. We got a big dog pound woo in the chat. Good to see you here, guys. Hopefully you guys had a chance to get in on some of the draws today from the Wolfpack boys as well. I'm going to do a new draw here soon for the channel members because we just have over, I think, just over 40 members now on the Tough Nut crew. If you're not part of it, think about it. It's fun to be in there. We're going to do a little more giveaways going forward, all that good stuff. But I still think that this is a bit of a downgrade from the proto, though. When I saw the prototype for this one, I was pretty freaking stunned by it. I thought it looked really good. Some of these mouth plates are a little silly. What? Why does Hot Toys always have the Batman with at least one freaking silly mouth plate? Like, he's got like, he looks kind of like a chipmunk bending that ladder. You love to see it. Yeah, it's a cool suit though, and I mean, it still is one of my favorite Affleck suits. And like, I'm a huge Dark Knight Returns fan, so I love the size of Ben Affleck. Right, he always for me just really like represented that physical presence of Batman, and I loved that. I didn't like that he used guns. I didn't like that he also definitely just like killed a lot of people. That never felt like Batman to me. Like, I get it, people get fatigued with the fact that he can't kill and it limits his abilities and stuff, and like I get that, but there's a justice aspect to his motivation. Otherwise, he's just a vigilante. And I shouldn't say just a vigilante, because vigilantes are freaking cool too. Like, if I think about somebody like the Punisher, who also just rips through bad guys, he's also awesome and fun to watch or read about in comics, but I still like that dichotomy of a Punisher against a Daredevil, right? They're different viewpoints, because Daredevil's the same way as Batman, right? He doesn't kill, or shouldn't, in my opinion. That's something I didn't love about this Batman, but I still don't have this ordered. It's probably waitlist now. I wanted to put this on order, but I felt like I only needed one Affleck Batman behind me. Let me know, guys, if you think this is the definitive Batman now for Ben Affleck. And I would consider at least trying to swap that Nightmare one out. Although, after Sideshow did that, like, what was it? You get a free figure if you buy a figure kind of over Christmas holidays or Black Friday. I can't remember how long. My time is all messed up. But it was one of the free figure giveaways at one point. After that, that figure value just, man, gone. Gone on that Nightmare Batman. I still kind of freaking want this, though. I kind of want the full, because I'm even getting the George Clooney Batman, and Batman and Robin is by far the worst film, like, of a Batman movie trilogy. No, I guess, like, what is it? What's a foursome movie? I forget. But no, it was not good. Still fun with Mr. Freeze though, and Poison Ivy. I still love so many aspects of those films, despite it not being my favorite Batman version. But I did actually still like George Clooney's Batman. I just think that it was the wrong time for him to be cast as Batman. He was still too well known from like his ER days and like the handsome George Clooney. So like when he portrayed Bruce Wayne, he still felt very much like George Clooney. But I think if they got him even later in his career, I think he could have played a pretty freaking awesome Batman representation. Not necessarily the physical presence, though, again, of Ben Affleck. He looks a little perturbed in some of these photos. And I've seen some of the comments saying he looks like he's taking a dump and all the things. He loved to see it. Curtis Booth. This was a surprise, but a welcome one, to be sure. Yeah, I did not expect to see this today. This is part of the reason I was streaming tonight, guys. I was going to try to make like a video on all of the things that released, like each video, and I was like, man, I'm going to be each video normally takes me like 45 minutes to an hour and a half to make, just for like a 14-minute video. So it's like, if I got to make like 5 of these bad boys, I'm going to be at this all night, and I just don't have the kind of time. I got to get up early for work. You hate to see it. Blue Tattoo says, George Clooney made a better Bruce Wayne than Batman. Yeah, I agree with that. He had that like playboy millionaire vibe to him, right? So Sin says, yeah, it's still a dopo for me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's a 10 out of 10. Love Brick. Don't think it's a 10 out of 10. But I do think it's pretty freaking good. And I would still be tempted to display this with this head sculpt on it. Honestly, although most of my all of my Batmans have their cowl on, so maybe I'm lying to myself. Maybe I'd have to kit bash like a Bruce Wayne in the suit at the very least, because I think it would be cool to have him in the collection. And Ben Affleck's a pretty iconic actor, and thankfully he's been able to avoid most controversy, despite divorces and all the things. He's still a badass. All right, let's talk about this guy. Obi-Wan Kenobi, we got artisan version. Honestly, this is the first time I've even been able to look through all these pictures all that well, guys. So you're 100% getting a chance to see my watery-eyed first take this evening. It's, I think, was it just after 11 p.m. here in Canada, Alberta, Canada. 15 people here watching. If you guys don't mind, hit the like button. Be awesome on the chill stream. I just realized we haven't even any music on. I forgot to put our music on. Sorry, guys. It's kind of just a little background music. I thought it felt a little quiet. Here we go. Let's do chill background music B. That's what we got on tonight. Let me know if you guys wanted me to sift through the selection. But anyways, on about the artisan here. So we of course got the artisan Obi-Wan Kenobi as well as the sculpted version. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm feeling fatigued with artisan line. While I like the idea that we can get figures that have rooted hair or wool implantation hair if you like that look, I feel like the Anakin is still probably the best one. I think the Joker would probably be next in terms of my favorites that have at least been released so far. I'm really excited to see what that Black Widow looks like, the artisan one, because the sculpt on that is freaking crazy. I've seen some criticism of this sculpt today. I do think this definitely looks like Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I think it definitely looks like Ewan McGregor. He definitely does look a little on the old side, though. I think that's a pretty consistent consensus that I've seen. It was my immediate take when I briefly saw these on my way to work this morning. The lighting is weird, though. He really shows some of his skin imperfection that he does have as an actor. So there's also like almost a bit of an element of realness here as well. It feels like it's a little uncanny valley. I think it's pretty obvious that it's still like a painted figure, and the hair makes it more real. It puts him in this kind of odd place, especially with the lighting on this one, because I do think that they've slowly improved Ewan McGregor's likeness over time. I do think it's getting better every time we see a sculpt, with the exception of maybe the last one that we saw from the Obi-Wan show. I did like that sculpt a lot, and when they were able to get rid of or tune up that sculpt so it didn't look like he was stung by a bee anymore, I thought that was pretty good. Shout out to Evil Sneaker. I still definitely see Steve in Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is just, funny marketing for that guy, but I don't know. See, for me, if I were to rank the prequel films, I think that, Return, or Revenge of the Sith, I think, for me, is obviously my favorite. But I loved Phantom Menace as a kid, honestly. I really did. I was about 10 or 11 years old when that film came out. And I remember, I collected all of, the carded figures that had that, comm thing that you could stick the magnet piece into and hear their voice. And I had so many of those, and we would trade them even on the playground. Back then we had the Pepsi cans with all the Phantom Menace merchandise on the cans themselves. There was so many cool things back then. I remember that was just a time, that was a time. And seeing Darth Maul for the first time, I thought he was really cool, despite his unfortunate death in that film. No spoilers, hopefully. Clone Wars I didn't, or Attack of the Clones, sorry. Attack of the Clones I didn't like nearly as much. I did like the shift from young Anakin to a slightly more matured Anakin, but he still quite wasn't kind of who he was yet. He was still trying to figure himself out, which is okay. I liked that aspect of the film. But at the time, I wasn't as familiar with Clone Wars. And since then, I've started watching more Clone Wars, and I am growing an appreciation for the clones and kind of everything that was going on, even in the second film. But it still felt like the weakest point for me. Revenge of the Sith, by far, was the best of that, first trilogy. So I wouldn't be as inclined to necessarily want to collect this particular Obi-Wan. I still really like to see an episode 3 Obi-Wan. which I think they definitely need to give us, especially since I'm still very much anticipating a Darkseid Anakin proper from Revenge of the Sith. I'd be shocked if we don't get him at some point, whether it's a sculpted iteration. Oh, I think it would have to be. If it's not, they'd have to go the route of like that deluxe Beetlejuice, that DX Beetlejuice, that still had wool hair implantation, but maybe like leather accessories. Like they'd have to improve it, or they'd have to give it almost like a subtle downgrade so it wouldn't piss all the people off who just got that, that rare Anakin at Japan, or in Japan, I should say. Jose, good to see you here, buddy. Good to see you here. Blue Tattoo, good to see you here. Yomo, good to see you here, buddy. Lucky Yara, is that Yagra? Lucky Yagra? Nah, keeping my Nightmare. This one was dopo. Hell yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna keep the Nightmare too at this point. There's no point in trading, and he's lost all value. And like for me, I'm not gonna give my figures away. Like I don't need the money. It's not. It was nice when you used to be able to use the collection to fund your collection a little bit more, but those days are feeling a little bit behind us. But the way collecting goes, it'll come around again. I mean, honestly, I do like the fact that they gave him seamless forearms. Like that, to me, is a huge like step forward. The technology's existed for a while. It pisses me off sometimes that Hot Toys hasn't given it to us more often, especially with female characters. But like honestly, just in general, I hate joints on my figures. So to the best of their ability, I like that they're moving to a more seamless look. I think it, like in terms of immersion, of feeling like that person is in your display, it's a huge win. Yeah, see, like this photo, I don't think looks bad. I do not think this looks bad. I can tell who it's supposed to be. Is that the greatest measure of it, though? Is it like, wow, 100%? I don't think so, but sometimes I do feel like the community, including myself even at times, are like too critical. These are still freaking amazing. Like, if you even compare this to Hot Toys from 3 to 5 years ago, it's like, it's night and day what we're doing with the paint applications. The blogger photo... Okay, see, this is weird, though. See how the lighting changes these two photos? On the left, looks pretty good. Looks like Ewan McGregor to me. Can even see his skin imperfection. For whatever reason, the contrast on the picture on the right looks like it's dialed way up. The brightness is crazy. He looks like he's almost got dandruff or like really bad hair gel on the side. And it looks more like Chris Hemsworth than Ewan McGregor. Unfortunately, both handsome men shouldn't look like each other, though. 1 Adam 12, good to see you here, buddy. Says, hey Ben, I'm going to pick this up to complete my AOTC collection, Attack of the Clones. Hell yeah. I mean, that's okay. So that's an exciting aspect of it, right? If you have already been collecting from Attack of the Clones, like 1 Adam 12th here, by the way, subscribe to his YouTube channel if you haven't already. Then yeah, that's a huge win for collectors. I love the fact that so many figures have come out over the last couple years that none of us, well, I shouldn't say none of us, I know there's some pretty wealthy folks out there. Most of us can't keep up with every release. But what that's doing is it's making all of our collections still just slightly more unique. It makes it more fun to see collection tours, in my opinion, when you see characters that not everybody has, right? And that is something that I've liked about Limited. That's something that I've liked about Artisan, and just, again, collecting in general lately. However, it can feel overwhelming when you get this onslaught of characters you freaking want so badly and you can't necessarily get them all. But yeah, back to this photo. I think this is a great representation of how lighting can truly, truly change what somebody looks like. Let's see the sculpted version here, because I haven't even looked at the sculpted one yet. I mean, it feels underwhelming, especially after looking at the Artisan hair, if I'm being fully honest. But I do think that it's propped up a little high. His mullet's a little less fun to look at, I guess. Photos are otherwise pretty solid. It looks like it's more of the proper amount of hair, if I'm being honest, though. I've always felt like Artisan adds a little extra hair, but I'm sure that's because with the wool implantation, they slowly lose hair slightly over time. So as a result, of course, give them a little more in the beginning. See, these do look pretty good together. I was on record saying, though, that I felt like that Anakin was also a little on the soft side when I first saw him, especially at the release. So it wasn't one that I picked up to begin with. I think Revenge of the Sith is where I'm going to keep my prequel trilogy figures mostly. I do have... I know I have the Solo Maul. I don't even have Maul from Phantom Menace. Although that Phantom Menace one has been haunting my dreams. I want it. I am also liking that we're getting more USB functionality out of our figures, but I gotta say, like, I would love more advice from you guys on what you're using in terms of like plugins. Like how do you light your display when you have multiple lightsabers, figures that need to be lit up? What's your secret? What's your secret? How do you get them all wired and lit? And how do you hide the cords? Is it module cases that you're displaying on? Like I'd be curious to hear from you guys creatively what you do. Sculpted hair looks great. Yeah, I mean, I think it looks like the right amount of volume, especially. It just feels a little underwhelming in comparison to real looking hair, if I'm being honest, but still pretty freaking good. He looks a little pale, I'll be honest, though. And like, I gotta look back. I feel like they all looked more tanned in that second film, but I could be misremembering. He looks really freaking pale here, especially since like they're on a pretty hot places sometimes, at least throughout that film. But anyways, pretty cool. The display base for me is not a big thing. I do like the blaster effects on the lightsabers. I like that they've added that in there as well. And the tailoring in the outfit looks fantastic. I mean, like definitely Hot Toys quality. I'm gonna skip this one because I am hoping that we see Episode 3 Obi-Wan alongside a Dark Side Anakin 2.0 maybe at some point. We'll see. What else do we got here? Let's check out this guy real quick. Okay, so I did like Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor quite a bit. I like the fact that you can get a BD1 here. I think there's been another figure that's come with the BD1 if I'm not mistaken too, but you know, in that game you can change the look of Cal Kestis, right? You can change his color of his outfits and stuff, and you can also change your BD1, right? So I like that BD1 can fit into kind of any display as the BD1 from your heart, in my opinion, and you can just kind of futz it in your brain that he's just in disguise. He's just got a different paint job. The chopper, I mean, obviously a little bit of reuse here, but I think it's pretty cool, and it's cool that it's exclusive, especially if you're a droid collector. Some of my favorite figures out there in the world are droids. I think that they look really cool and display really nicely. For me, I think the only reason I haven't got more down the slippery slope of droids is that there's so many characters in Star Wars that it's hard for me to not want just main characters to start with, and even then, I don't have the display space for every main character that I want. So getting into the secondary and tertiary characters, for me, I can't justify yet. But I would love to hear from you guys if you have gone in on this one today, or any of these, to be honest. Let me know what ones you guys are going in on. 17 to 20 people here, guys. Thanks so much for just joining me on this late night rant into the screen. 16 Lovers, hello there. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for coming in. Let's see here. Sorry, because I'm talking so much I need a drink. Curtis says, Ben, how does this one equal the $10 cheaper? How does this one equal to $10 cheaper than regular chopper despite this coming with more stuff? I would say probably because it's reuse in terms of the chopper body itself. It's basically just a repaint, right? So they've already come out with all the molds. They've already made the figure, basically. They just have to give it a different paint job. So if it can come out with a few more accessories, bits and bobs, like I think sometimes we as collectors think that these accessories cost these companies a ton, but once they have a mold and patent, they can make a bajillion accessories for wildly cheap. And as collectors, we want those accessories, so we're willing to pay dollars for things that cost cents. And so I'm not surprised at all, buddy, if there's a bit of a lower cost here, and also to hook people, right? You know, a lot of folks did get the chopper figure to begin with, so that's possible. I agree here. Great point, Big Dog Pound. I wish Chopper had some light up USB features. I felt like that was a miss on the first Chopper that came out, like the actual like canon proper Chopper. It just like, I think all droids need to be able to be lit. I just in general, I love my C-3PO figure, but the fact that he stands there with his eyes turned off, he very much looks turned off, and not in the non-sexy way. I mean, like shut down, right? So, yeah, it sucks. I don't know. Curtis says that's very fair. All three droids, I think are reused molds. You're right. Yeah, again, definitely just repaints, and with the slapped exclusive on it. And again, anytime we see exclusive, it does give us a little bit of FOMO. It does for me too, even on figures that I'm like, nah, I don't need it. As soon as I see the exclusive, I'm like, but if I saw it in a basket for cheap, I'd probably still put it in my cart. But yeah, that's the way she goes. Yeah, oh, the little mouse droid too, I forgot about. I didn't know this was included. I don't think I saw this earlier. Is it included or did they just throw it in? Actually, I shouldn't conclude. Oh yeah, it is cool, cool. The black and red's a sweet color combo too. Actually, that looks really good. Uh, who? Oh yeah, who would you guys pair these with, color wise? Right, because it could look good with like the Maul and like his Maul troopers backed with them, right, with the red and black look, and then add these guys in, or again just with droids. But this is cool. This is cool. And yeah, looks like not a bad price overall. It's disappointing that it's plastic. I wish that more droids had more die cast in them, just to feel the weight. I don't. There's something about a little bit of heft to a figure that makes it feel more valuable. Whenever a non-collector comes into my display, if they're like, oh, like wow, these look expensive, I always hand them like the Mark 7 die cast, because it just is such a weighty boy, you know. Like it's just a good feeling. So. Yeah, these look pretty good. Let's move on. Commander Cody again, crazy, exclusive. So this one boggled me a little bit because I'm pretty sure that the Commander Cody that was Chrome is still like available. I think you can still get them. People, of course, didn't necessarily want the chromed out version unless you collect Chrome figures. This one though, like we've had basically this figure before. I just think it had the different helmet, if I'm not mistaken. The paint job on this does look great, I will be honest, and again the exclusive tag just gives it a little bit more love. And the head sculpt is always fantastic for these Codys, kind of with that Tamora Morrison aesthetic, right? The armor looks fantastic. We got a little sand base there, no footprints, it looks like, so there you go. They're up in the ante. Paint job looks pretty good. It does look pretty good. But I feel like most people who really want a Cody probably got him or paid crazy money on the aftermarket to get him. And so this must have been, like once again, kind of like we were saying with regards to repaints, the cheaper option to kind of reproduce, give people a few more, and then, you know, close the pipeline again. Because it seems weird to me that would be the case. It's a great looking figure though. And like, you know, execute Oda 66, right? It's such an iconic scene in Star Wars history now, or in canon. Like I would be tempted to put this up against like Palps, or I don't know, maybe some of the other clones. Look at him talking over there. Love to see it. Oh, look, that's a Yoda. That's amazing. A little Yoda. Oh god. Again, when we talk about cheap accessories, guys, these are low cost items. I thought I saw earlier that the hand lights up. Was I wrong? No, I am not wrong. Fuck yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so it comes with the LED light up hologram projector. That is a cool accessory piece with this figure. I don't think the original came with that. That is a cool function, because those holograms otherwise to me always feel like a little gimmicky, but if you can light them, I actually think it'll come to life quite a bit more. I was disappointed by that 6 scale hologram Darth Maul that came out last year, because that thing barely lit to like the halfway point. So I guess it'll depend on how good these lights are. And are they battery powered? That's the other question. Let's take a quick peek at the thing here, guys. 3,000 units of this Cody. LED light up. Does it say anything about USB? I am not seeing USB. Guys, let me know if I'm just not seeing it properly. If that's not USB, that does suck. I'm less excited about it, because those batteries that normally last like 36 seconds, you get enough time to take like 3 pictures. That's disappointing. I haven't seen any official like posts on the Darth Vader either, guys. Can you tell me in the chat where's a good place to find the Darth Vader photos? Are they even real? Can you imagine somebody's like just messing with us from overseas? It's not actually real, and we've been all excited about that Darth Vader. The Airborne Trooper, I'm gonna make this one super quick. This looks badass. Don't need it. Definitely don't need it. Really badass. Looks cool. This in the display with other troopers, especially if you're a trooper collector, would look freaking awesome. I love that helmet design. I think that looks really like angry and mean. The gun looks pretty cool and pretty well painted also, if I'm being honest. The paint job on the armor also looks fantastic, and these guys look just so cool together. Love that they match there a little bit. That's cool. Once again, when it comes to figures and when it comes to troopers, I do wish that troopers were always wide releases. I've always felt like putting an exclusive label on a trooper, while it's nice to have an exclusive trooper, and I think that there are exceptions. I did like the Cherry Blossom Trooper being exclusive to that Japan event, right? I liked some of the other troopers that we've seen from the past, like the Porcelain Trooper and stuff, being exclusive to certain events. But when it's just exclusive for the sake of exclusivity, I don't love that when it comes to troopers, because I do think that if you're a trooper collector, at least I'd be surprised if you didn't want like more than one. And like, who wants to fight in the lineup for a trooper? Not me, at least. Renz Tolentino, good to see you, buddy. Good evening, Ben and chat. Love that you are here, my friend. Love that you're here. Curtis Booth says, kind of a shame that there's no rolling eyes, though. Oh, on the sculpt there for Cody, 100%. Thanks, Curtis. I'll pull that up here in a second, buddy. Definitely appreciate it. Who is getting the Airborne Trooper? If any of you guys are getting it, let me know. And what was your justification for it? What gets you going on that? It's the 212th Attack Battalion Trooper. I'm just gonna leave that up for a half second here, guys. Let's see. Just gonna pull up the post with Vader. Curtis Booth. Thanks for doing that, buddy. Let's see here. We're waiting for it to come in. Got 19 people here. Again, if you guys don't mind, hit the like button. That'd be awesome. Just I'm sure most people won't see the stream even air until probably the morning, so give somebody something to wake up to maybe while they shower. Big Dog Pound 1 says, I wanted it but missed it. Yeah, see, again, like, that's for a trooper, like, that sucks, man. That sucks. Trooper should not be exclusive, at least in my opinion. 3,000 units goes quick too. Yeah, like crazy. While we wait for Curtis there, because I don't see the post quite yet, dude, so just let me know when it's there. Let's take a look at this one. This was the other one that came up. Oh, hey, S-Beam, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. We were just having a chill stream, open mic style, guys. If you have any questions for me, if there's any things you want to talk about, put it in the chat. Let's talk about it. I got probably 35 more minutes before I definitely have to take my ass to bed. Let's see this guy here. So this was a really quick turnaround, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this has got to be like, what, 4 or 5 months, considering from its time of announcement to release. So that's pretty crazy. 57 photos, my god. It is a good thing I didn't do a custom video on these today, boys. I would have been at that all night. Oh man, S-Beam says, I missed it all. Stupid exclusive. Dude, yes, right? Like, based on when Sideshow and those companies put those out, it's always like 1 o'clock in the afternoon for me. I'm always at work. And while, like, I'm part of the Collecting Weekly community and stuff, so there's a lot of folks there that are willing to kind of, stay on the hunt for people. I still, like, have missed all the ones that I really wanted. The one that I really, really wanted that I missed was Bucky Barnes or the Winter Soldier. So if any of you guys get an artisan conversion on the Winter Soldier and you decide you don't want it, if you'll sell it to me for retail, I would appreciate it, but I understand the demand. So let me know if one comes up for you guys. Feel the burn. Good to see you, my friend. He says, well. Hello, Night Owls. Good to see you. We are just chilling out here, man. Having some fun, talking some figures, asking some questions. If there's anything you want to talk about, Feel the burn, you put it in the chat, buddy, and we'll talk about it. Like, I kind of freaking like the look of this. It's grown on me tremendously, although it is more pink than I expected. I think that could be lighting and, of course, ambient light there as well, but it does look really nice. I feel like even for people who got their hands on this is going to be kind of like even like a trophy piece feel to it, right? Kind of similar to like the gold and the silver Iron Man. This could go in along with like a showcase display. As opposed to like a movie realistic display, obviously. Like, we didn't see these in the movies, but this is pretty cool. It does make me wonder if this is the first and only kind of fractal piece that we're going to get, or will we start seeing things like fractal troopers? Will we start seeing things like fractal Darth Vader? Fractal Batman? could they go all in, or are they going to be like, no, this didn't pan out as well as we thought? Like, you guys remember the Black Panther Transformer figure? I don't think it did very well because I feel like, and I know that was like, again, that was another artistic representation from an artist, but I thought we'd see more of those types of figures, and no, never came up. Chronically Annoyed, great name, says Sideshow completely dropped the ball on those exclusive clones today, dude. 100%. Not letting people really know even when it's going up, I think is crap. Honestly, like, I've been petitioning for a long time on this channel that I really prefer timed exclusives, because I still think, like, say for example, it's a queue system, not a queue system, like a numbered system, in the sense of they open up the queue for a certain amount of days, like a timed release, and you put your pre-order in during that time. And, you know, maybe you're held to your pre-order, maybe you're held to a higher amount than a pre-order NRD, for example. Maybe as a result of doing that, they keep our money, a little bit more of our money. But you order it during that time period, which creates a certain amount of demand. Then when that poll is shut down, or when that ability to buy that figure is shut down, they don't make any more, and they announce how many they made. It would be cool, right? Some figure runs could do thousands and it wouldn't feel that exclusive. Some might do hundreds, and then we would feel like, yeah, like, I'm happy I put my name in that for that one, like, that's awesome. And it would still be an exclusive number that would exist, so there'd still be more collectability to it, in my opinion. And if they numbered them, that would make exclusives, in my opinion, even better. Even if they didn't go that route of having like an open time period, at least number them. Then if you're gonna say there's 3,000, I want to know what number in 3,000 I have. Why is it that freaking hard to put that out there? Because otherwise, tinfoil hat, and I think most of us have it at times, are there really 3,000, or did they actually sell more like 7,000 and they just told us there was 3,000? Like, I don't know 3,000 people with that trooper, so I can't ask, I can't verify. They know it. So like, I don't know, guys, I don't know. Renz Tolentino says, I like how in art and Jazz Inc.'s method, 1 or 2 months, yeah, it gives you an opportunity to truly decide if you want it, and if you put your money in, you'll get one of a certain amount that exist, and that's it, and that would still make it exclusive. That extra cherry on top would be a numbered system, for sure. But let's see here. Did we get it through, Curtis? I don't see it anything, buddy. Hate to see it. It's just giving me dotted symbols. Let me see if I can find it here. I want to see this Vader. I want to see Darth Vader. Let's see if I can just pull it up. Darth Vader. I feel like somebody will have posted this shit today. Tell me where I can find this, guys. That did not work as easy as I expected, if I'm being honest. Oh, here we go. Thank you, yodasnews.com. Love to see it. Thanks for your efforts, Curtis, either way, buddy. Okay, let's quickly look at this, because this is more exciting than Fractal Armor, if I'm being honest. The joke has been, right, like, how many Anakins is too many Anakins, how many Vaders is too many Vaders, but like, everybody's wanted a crispy Anakin for a while. I thought they'd go hard though and give us like the Revenge of the Sith, like him coming out of the lava pit, like burned to shit version of crispy Anakin. This is a better choice, if I'm being honest. Like, while there would be some humor and some like interesting display options with an absolutely destroyed Anakin Skywalker missing limbs and stuff, and you could recreate that scene, of the high ground, I think that would be amazing. This is really the first time you get to see Hayden as Vader, right? Like, I mean, he's called Vader earlier in the film, but this is him donning the Vader attire for the first time, and that iconic no. It's so bad. Oh man, the table is cool. Huge amount of display space, you'd have to imagine, because like, if a figure is 12 inches standing up, then that's at least 12 inches laying down, and Vader is one of the taller figures I've got. In fact, he's probably closer to 13 inches, if I'm being honest. I should look at the measurements here, but if you think that table plus the extension arm holding all the gear and stuff, if you have it in that prone or horizontal position, that's a freaking wide piece. So Chronically Annoyed says, Sideshow put them up at 5 a.m. my time when they usually do it at 1 p.m. Felt scummy to give 0 heads up. Yeah, dude, 100%. 100%. Totally agree. Let's see here. Curtis Booth says, who's not to say there won't be a second body for a deluxe version bet? Oh, so like this plus a crispy Anakin? Oh man, that'd be great. Except that I think the price would be wild. I think the Hong Kong dollars for this was already posted, if I'm not mistaken, for the deluxe that comes with the table. And I think I was seeing that it was going to be somewhere, somewhere in that $400 to $500 range, I think, and significantly less if you just got the Vader. Now, it's interesting to me that like he looks so skinny here. Now, again, he's the younger man, and he just lost a lot of weight in that lava pit, let's be honest. But he looks so much skinnier than most, like, normal Vader versions. It's weird to me that the armor almost looks more bulky, it seems, the older Vader gets. If this is real, and I do feel like it's real, I don't want to spread the news that maybe it's not real. I do think that it's real. But if it's not real, this is a damn good joke. And if it is real, I definitely see Hayden Christensen's likeness in this sculpt with the charred face. But like, again, how many Vaders is too many Vaders? If Vader is your guy, then I think this is a must-have. I think this is a must-have figure. This looks amazing. And again, it's really the first time we're feeling that presence of the Darth Vader that we know from the original trilogy, right? That donning of the outfit. But on the other hand, we also got that kind of mythos style Vader pre-order go up. What was it? Probably 6 or 8 months ago now. That was also like the wildly battle damaged version of Vader. And a lot of us, including myself, went in on that Vader because that was the most battle damaged version of a Vader I've ever seen in 6 scale. And I was like, that looks so good. And so I pulled the trigger on that one. But now I'm kind of like, oh, like this also now exists. We also had the other Vader from the Obi-Wan show that had the split mask. So again, more battle damage showing Hayden's face underneath. So maybe it's a this or that or both. Like, do we need this version? Do we already have the split mask version? Do you want both? Is there good room for both? Again, obviously different periods of time. So different film, different everything that way. But is it vastly different enough? Or do you like the fact that Obi-Wan version, while it was a cool battle scene with Kenobi, and you get to see his face, and, you know, he talks about how, you know, Obi-Wan didn't kill him, I killed Anakin, and all that. I still think this is almost cooler, if I'm being totally honest. And if you can put the table vertically, which I do believe you can, let me see if there's, yeah, see if you can put the table vertically, that's how I think most people are going to display this. Like, he's getting off the table. And that is pretty cool. Looks like he's like busting out of his handcuffs though a little bit just to scream no. So that's pretty freaking wild. Yeah, it does look pretty cool. It does look pretty freaking cool. And again, this would also pair really nicely with that return of the Jedi Vader that came out last year. So you could have like the unmasked like head of Vader underneath, or of Anakin underneath, but both with the Hayden Christensen likeness and of course the classic likeness. I think that could be a cool display paired up beside each other. So yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty freaking cool. Really long if you're putting it on the ground. I am curious to see what all this is going to come with. It's not a lot of pictures, not a lot with that tease, but I'm definitely excited. Curtis asks, do you think the real question is, will it be limited? You know, like, I have such limited fatigue at the moment that I'm just like, I freaking hope not, honestly. Like Chronically Annoyed was saying earlier, right? Like, people are pissed today that they didn't get a chance to get some of these figures they wanted just because of the time of day that they live their life in. And I don't think that that's right. I think that that's why timed windows should be a thing. At least say this is going up for, you know, this period of time, although then they can't give limited numbers because it would still just sell out in the first 45 minutes anyways. It wouldn't matter if it was a 12-hour window if there's a limited number, right? So they'd have to get rid of the limited number and they'd have to say, we will make however many you guys order within 12 hours. Although, again, from a business perspective, as much as I'd want that as a collector, and from a collector perspective, a business perspective, that would never make sense because they'd end up eating their shirt. They'd make way more figures because of demand initially, and then so many people cancel their orders. It's why a wait list even exists, right? So, like, yeah, would people buy them over time? Sure, but they would make more than they would need to otherwise. The 3,000 gives that clean, sweet number, and they can just capitalize and then, you know, basically guaranteed income, right? Because to them, those are guaranteed income options. And whenever you can do an exclusive version like those droids earlier, that's just like money in the bank for them. Making those figures probably cost them nothing. Think about even Hano, right? I've said this for a while. Hano really unveiled the Wizard of Oz, the man behind the curtain. The cost or the margin in which these companies can truly make a figure, not necessarily with likeness rights. Likeness rights definitely add to cost, but even still, these figures don't cost what we pay for them. They just don't. I think you guys all know that. So, and Hano really showed that with the seamless Wolverine arms and like a really cool figure and like a pretty decent quality figure. If I'm being honest too, I like that figure for $165. And then we can so easily justify 500 nowadays. I feel like every other figure I get's $500 lately. Every other figure I get. Now I'm also in Canada, so our cost here is even higher. But still, like, you know, at least over that $300 mark for the most part. And we've been price conditioned. There was such a time that 285 or 290 felt like wildly priced. But you know, those days are gone. That's a price of entry at this point, and that doesn't even include tariffs, which I really have no desire to talk about because that's just a crazy situation. Hot Toys 100% needs to start numbering their exclusives, even if it was the base. Gentle Giant does that for their busts. 100% agree with you, good sir. Yeah. It makes me have the tinfoil hat theory that more exist than they say. Because the other thing is, like, if only a specific amount of figures exist for sale, then how can they ever give a replacement? Or how can they ever give replacement parts? Like, the factory doesn't just make replacement parts. It's something that I wish Hot Toys would do. I feel like it's actually, you know, it's a market for which collectors, I think, would love. But there's not enough money in it for Hot Toys for them to I likely go through the work, but like of having basically an accessories store, right? Something akin to Toys Anxiety, where you can literally buy parted out pieces of figures. Because I would love to have, you know, every representation of a Stormtrooper helmet, for example, in my display, but I don't need every trooper. I would love to have every different color of lightsaber that's existed, but I don't need every figure that's come with every color of lightsaber, right? Like, that aspect of it I think would be cool, but the fact that Hot Toys doesn't give us an accessory store means that we have to, if we want Hot Toys, either buy them secondary, go through places like Toys Anxiety that give us the service, or buy another figure. And for Hot Toys, that's a better business move. But I really, really wish that they would give us some kind of accessory store in the future. I think that would be a huge win. And honestly, I'd probably spend more per year on collectibles because I'd still buy the figures that I wanted. But I'd go in and look for accessories that I don't even know I need yet. But if I saw it in the accessory store, I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to buy that. I've done it on Toys Anxiety a couple times. I've bought helmets, I've bought random weapons, I've bought a bunch of stuff on there that I didn't even know I needed until I saw it and then I needed it. So yeah, who knows? But in terms of this, I've got Return of the Jedi Vader. I've got Empire Strikes Back Vader. And I've got that epically battle damage Vader on order. I don't feel like I need this. In fact, I think the next Vader that I get will be a Darkside Anakin if they give it to us. Because I don't have Darkside Anakin. I like that transition of him going from that, you know, to Vader. This is just kind of a fun in-between scene that is still iconic with the no and all that stuff. But I still think I'm more excited for that crazy battle damage Vader. Big Rib says, if I get this Vader, I'll sell my Obi Vader. Already have Return of the Jedi and battle damage Vader coming. Yeah, that's kind of what I was wondering, right? Because again, for me, the original appeal of that Obi-Wan Vader was that you could see young Anakin's face underneath, or not young Anakin, but you know what I'm saying. You could tell that it was Anakin underneath. But this, you get to see more of his likeness. So unless you then otherwise really liked Obi-Wan as the series, or you really liked that battle scene, which for me was still one of the highlights of that show. Yeah, this, I think I agree with you, Big Rib. I think that this is, if it was a this or that, I think it's that, or this, I should say. Big Dog Pound 1 says, I am glad the Vader suit looks like nylon material. They have to start moving to that, right? Totally agree with you, dude, because like peeling needs to be something that collectors never talk about ever again. right? Like how would be music to Hot Toys ears if they didn't have to hear us collectors or content creators or whoever it is talking about it be like, yeah, this is a great figure, but I can't wait for it to peel in like 1.5 years. And it's like, well, okay. Like, it's a piss off, right? I've had figures peel on me, only one. It was my Bane, my 1.0 Bane. His jacket ended up peeling, but not until I gave it to my friend Zach in Collecting Weekly. He was standing fine in my display for all those years, no peeling at all. As soon as I touched him, he basically just went and just shredded material. So yes, nylon is definitely something that needs to happen. I also really hope they improve lightsaber technology in the future. I do like that they've moved to a USB functionality, so you at least can keep them on. I think that that's still a win, but it's a lot of wiring for not a wow effect, not a wowing effect like some of those custom lightsabers that you can get, right? I can't remember what they're called now. I apologize, guys. Getting tired, but some of those crazy off-brand, secondary market lightsabers that you can buy are crazy bright. They look so good in comparison to Hot Toy stock ones. Big Dog Pound one says, it'd be crazy to put Ryan Reynolds' battle damage Deadpool sculpt on his Vader. You could, and just to see if anybody even noticed, right? Because so many people, like, again, especially non-collectors, just get enamored by the fact that, wow, like, that's Darth Vader in there. I don't even think that they would look that close at that pizza sculpt, or damaged avocado head. That'd be funny. That would be funny, dude. I hope to see that come to somebody's display. I think that's all the figures, guys. Was that everything? Did I miss anything? Is there anything else you guys wanted to? Oh, Jesus Christ! Look at that! Wow, Yun H. Damn. Hate to see it. See Mythos Vader. Hate to see it. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna take one more quick look at Hot Toys before we wrap it up for the day, guys. 16 to 25 people in the show today. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here and just hanging out. It was a rough day at work, so it feels good to just have a laugh with you guys and just hang out in the nut yard. I think that's it. Oh, wow, we almost forgot Captain America. Goddamn. I apologize. I even put Captain America in the title, so we should 100% quickly talk about this. Is this downgraded? It still looks like Anthony Mackie to me. Don't get me wrong, but I did think the prototype looked better. Now, my criticism of the prototype was that he didn't look old enough. I do actually think they aged him up here a little bit better. So he does look older, but that cool figure though. Cool figure design. Also a really quick turnaround on this. Like this, because this figure was put up for pre-order, I think, was it like a couple weeks before? Maybe only a week before the new Captain America film. Yeah, and I mean, I teased at the time that it looked like Ant-Man mixed with Falcon mixed with Captain America, right? Like a mishmash. I didn't hate this film though. I liked Thunderbolts more, if I'm being honest. But this was still a fun movie, and I liked Harrison Ford in it more than I thought I would as Thunderbolt Ross. And because I was still a huge fan of the 2008 film, which justifiably I think is part of the reason that I liked this movie more than some people, because I did really like the Edward Norton Hulk film from 2008, and this film felt very much like a sequel to that movie. I feel bad for the people who never saw that original Hulk movie. If you never saw it, you probably were like, why do I care about these characters? And like, who is, I felt like they didn't explain it very well, but this does look pretty good. And you know what? I like the likeness more than my first thought there. That first picture I thought was a little weird. I don't think they led with their best, because this is still by far the best Anthony Mackie likeness that exists now. Mostly because I could be wrong, but I don't think you could take the goggles off the last version, the all white version, which I thought was a miss at the time. But again, I could be misremembering on that one now, guys. I never picked that one up because of the wingspan on this. It's freaking massive. But I did like that he got back to a more classic, like Captain America blue color. Although even in the comics, the white look still looked pretty cool. And at the beginning of this film, when he kicked some ass in the white outfit before it got damaged, it did look pretty freaking good in both. So honestly, I think if you have the last version, unless you desperately need like a Anthony Mackie head sculpt without the mask on, I think this looks great. But I think that figure was also honestly just as good, if not if not superior in some ways, at least in the outfit. So they give him traps though, so that's a good thing, because I mean Captain America figures are notorious for coming out the first couple times without traps and then slowly upgrading them, especially for poor Chris Evans. Yeah, this looks pretty cool. This or that though. What do you guys think? White or blue? Let me know in the chat. The wingspan is freaking crazy, and the construction of these is honestly pretty impressive too. You got to give it some credit. I think it was a miss. So again, I think it's a miss that they're using these straps on the shield. I think that's a huge miss. They break notoriously, or even if they don't break, they're really hard to like get your fingernails in. Typically I use a pair of tweezers, so like tweeze on both sides and pinch it, and that works usually best for me. And I haven't broken any of mine, not for my Captain Americas, but there was a figure that I broke though. What was that one? I don't remember now, guys, sorry. Oh, it was one of my Deadpool 2 figure. I had a clasp on him that got broken at one point. But even still, I would have liked to see magnetic options here. That is like, and I know I gave the Batman with the articulated head some shit, because I was like, well, that's not screen accurate, so like, I don't like that as much. I don't, not for the Batman, but for this, I'm like, I don't normally look at him holding the shield sideways like this. It would be kind of front facing either way, and I think for display and for ease of swap in and out, magnets are a way better call here. This is when I would be willing to sacrifice some screen accuracy, honestly, for the convenience of posability and kind of play with the figures, right? Like, at the end of the day, I said this on my last video that I posted, you know, something that I've been really trying to focus on lately is reposing my figures again, going back and, you know, going back to the figures that end up on the bottom shelf, or going back to the figures that have had just in the same pose for the longest time and just tweaking them a little bit. And I gotta say, honestly, like, it really brings some love back to all of the characters that I have. It made me remember why I liked that figure so much to begin with. And there's been one or two that I'm like, no, I still don't love it. And those are the ones that I've moved on in favor of having that display space back. So yeah, guys, I think I am going to wrap it up. I'm going to go to bed. I just wanted to give you guys my take and thoughts, and hang out with you, hang out with all you some fun folks. I'm tired, as you can tell. I can't even talk anymore. You'll love to see it. Who was all here before I roll out? Big Dog Pound 1, dude, thanks for being here. Curtis Booth, thanks for being here, buddy. Big Rib, thanks for being here, buddy. Chronically Annoyed, you too, my friend. Let's see here. We had Renz Tolentino earlier. We had S Beam earlier. Love to see it. Field of Burn was here with us. Let's see who else. 1-6 Lovers was here with us. Good to see you guys. 1 Adam 12. Thank you for being here. Sin, thanks for being here. Blue Tattoo. Jose Plus, of course, my buddy there. Yomo. Yeah. Lucky Jahara. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Dilo the collector. Can't miss him. Dude, thanks for being here. Hope you guys are having a great night. Hope you guys like the nut yard. Let me know. Give me some comments down below. How would you like me to change the nut yard? Do you like that it's just more casual, just hang out time with me? This is how I am just in normal life. Like, you know, the videos, I try to give as much energy as I can, because I really want you guys to, you know, to feel how I'm feeling in those videos. But usually by the time I get to the live stream, I'm freaking tired, so you get to see the quiet time then. So, Blue Tattoo, cool stream, Ben. Thanks, buddy. Good night, everybody. Renz Tolentino, love to see you here, buddy. As always enjoying your artwork. Keep that stuff coming. Chronically Annoyed says, reposing figures is a great way to remember you got them in the first place. 1000%. Let's leave it off there, guys. Enjoy your evening. Going into Thursday, I hope you guys have a great weekend. It's a long weekend for me this weekend. We will not have Let's Get Nuts this Sunday, because I'm going to be at a birthday party this Sunday. So we are going to bring Let's Get Nuts back on May the 25th. So please make sure you are back for that live show there with all my panelist guests, like we always had. If you missed last Let's Get Nuts, though, don't miss it. Go back to it. We did have Saphira Cosplay on there. She was awesome to talk with, and we had Jim the Collector and Vita in that chat as well. That was on Star Wars Day. So if you guys missed that, definitely go back and take a look at that Let's Get Nuts if you missed the show this weekend. But otherwise, again, Let's Get Nuts will return on May 25th. Guys, yeah, let's see here. Let's do this. Oh, I can't type. I love your faces. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Enjoy your night. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Wow, what a great audience. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Because subscribing makes you feel good.
Where should I go? What should I do?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
It's gone. It's all gone.